Welcome to this first time inaugural Digital Medicine Symposium here at Yale. My name is Greg Licholai. I teach at the School of Management as adjunct faculty. I'm also Chief Medical Officer and Chief Medical Information Officer for a large public company and have worked in healthcare throughout my life. And also a graduate of the Yale School of Medicine. Today we wanted to bring a discussion of digital medicine to Yale in order to really stimulate some thought and really begin to lay the foundation and explore what is digital medicine, but perhaps more importantly, why digital medicine, why now, and why should we be enthusiastic about it? And to be honest, today started out as a little bit of a pilot, a little bit of an experiment, really testing the waters to see what was the level of interest in the Yale community. And we had an overwhelmingly positive response from both from the audience. We'll be expecting people to be kind of wandering in throughout the day, as well as from sponsors and willing to help fund this, and our co-collaborators who've really done a terrific job. And again, that kind of brings us back to the question, why the overwhelming response and why the interest at this point? And I guess the other key thing to mention is that this is the first Yale Digital Medicine Symposium. In about a month, there is a Harvard Digital Medicine Symposium, so we're very happy to take the lead and allow our colleagues in Cambridge to be fast followers. So why digital medicine? And really, in a phrase, digital medicine is about patient empowerment. Empowering patients with more choices, more information, and really bringing the healthcare, which was previously in the hands of a small group of incumbents, doctors, insurance providers, et cetera, into the hands of patients. Why digital medicine? Where do some of these promises come from? Today we'll hear examples on how digital medicine is improving all these things. I mean, really, it's a stunning series of possibilities. You'll hear about Talkspace is improving access as well as reducing stigma in behavioral health and depression and other types of mental disorders. You'll hear about AI is improving the use of personalization as well as building a stronger evidence base for medicine. We'll talk about the use of data to generate better outcomes, which will also create better evidence for a wider, more representative population. We'll hear about how the collaboration between Apple and Johnson & Johnson, two of the most recognized names in healthcare, or just two of the most recognized brand names, have come together to create a sweeping offering for patients, for more convenience about healthcare. And the evidence is there. Perhaps this is one of the most welcome surprises that digital medicine actually produces clinical results. And just to mention some of the examples, diabetes, measurable improvements in diabetes care, measurable improvements in asthma treatments and respiratory disease, measurable survival in lung cancer for patients who use digital disease management apps. But in order to get there, we have to proceed responsibly. So part of the mission here is not just to talk to this audience about what the promises are, but really to send out a sense of urgency that in order for this new field to progress, standards need to be met. And those standards are not to encumber progress, but actually to help deliver progress, to create a foundation of a better sense of security and a better sense of confidence that safety exists, quality exists. We need an interdisciplinary approach between medicine, business, technology, educate the stakeholders, and we need innovative business models to be able to pay for this and to achieve the promises that we want to get. So today's audience, or today's target audience, if you will, is the non-expert in digital medicine, but people who are informed and care deeply about healthcare and want to learn and think about the promises. What are the definitions? We'll go over briefly. What's the status of the progress in the field of digital medicine? And implicit here will be some of the promises that we mentioned. Suffice to say that digital healthcare, digital medicine is a complicated landscape. Everything from mobile apps, personalized healthcare, telemedicine, et cetera. We'll be focused more on digital therapeutics and some of the other enablers. We'll be talking about drug supply chain as an enabler. But this entire field is moving forward with really an impressive speed. Again, why digital medicine? Digital medicine has clinical impact. Software, healthcare software, has been really putting up some impressive results. We'll hear a little bit later on about behavioral health software that is creating promises in treatment of ADHD as well as other types of behavioral disorders. As mentioned, diabetes, et cetera, lung cancer survival. Why is this happening now? Part of it is because there have been some landmark approvals coming from the FDA, and even in drug adherence, which our colleagues in medicine know that this has been a very difficult area to get our heads around and to create benefits. Even in drug adherence, using digital technology and a whole wraparound system have demonstrated a benefit of improving adherence in patients who are defined as medically refractory to treatment, not psychologically and not disorganized, but medically refractory patients had clinical benefits once they improved their adherence. And the opportunity for public health management in monitoring disease and air quality for asthma. And it's not stopping with this. There's a host of other programs that are moving forward in digital medicine, sleep, cognitive training, et cetera, et cetera. Digital medicine also has regulatory acceptance. So the FDA in recent years has really been very forward-thinking, very progressive about ushering this new era, starting with the 21st Century Cures Act. I'll go through these as a number of quick examples because there's really just too many to belabor. The 21st Century Cures Act led to the Digital Health Innovation Action Plan in 2017, a pre-certification program which keeps on being updated most recently this year, as well as a new approach certifying artificial intelligence products, and as well as a commitment to real-world evidence, which has to be enabled using different digital databases and digital techniques. And finally, digital medicine is well funded. Part of the reason that us, all of us who have been observers of this digital transformation have been waiting for this to happen, well, follow the money. So it's projected to be over a $200 billion market in the next decade. Venture funding is up. The consumer market for data, which we'll hear about shortly, is growing very rapidly, as well as artificial intelligence. And if you just look at the numbers, they speak for themselves. A 30% year-over-year increase in venture funding, increasing deal sizes, and increasing number of deals in digital healthcare. So why digital medicine? Digital medicine, as we said, is about patient empowerment. But I actually struggled with what this actually means, because it's really not about the digital, it's not even about the medicine, and it's not even, in my opinion, about the patient. It's about the empowerment. And what I mean is that in the near future, we're not going to be talking about digital medicine. We will be talking about this as the standard of care, as the standard of practice. And ultimately, it's because organizations that are interested in healthcare are shifting their focus to what is engaging patients. When you hear the CEO of CVS and Aetna talk about what was the main driver of a $70 billion merger, their answer was patient engagement. When you look at what is funding artificial intelligence and why insurance companies are pouring billions of dollars, their answer is patient engagement. Because we're at the era where we're seeing power shifting from the incumbents, from physicians, from payers, from health systems, where we used to own the information, we used to own the decision, and we forced it on in almost a belittling way, calling you patients who could not be involved in your decision of healthcare. The shift is empowerment of all of us so that we all can engage and participate in healthcare to actually become the people providing our own healthcare. That's why I think we should all be hopeful and very cautiously optimistic about that future. So that being said, let's move on to the discussion. We will try to save time for a couple of questions at the end of each talk. We'll talk about data and outcomes. We will talk about the use of artificial intelligence, drug supply, therapeutics, and we have to give time to think about the ethical considerations and the responsibility that we all have. And before I'll ask Harlan to come up, I just want to say thank you to our organizers who've done a terrific job, particularly CBIT, and here we are in this gorgeous building at the Yale Law School, as well as our sponsors, including Medtronic, Steward Health, Health Haven Hub, Healthcare Ventures, as well as PRA Health. And a little bit of a plug for a future pitch competition coming up, sponsored by Health Haven Hub and Health Ventures, which is our homegrown digital medicine incubator and venture fund.